Coventry will always hold a special place in my heart, for it was here that I spent almost a decade of my life, immersed in the city's vibrant communities while pursuing my studies at university. In navigating my fledgling independence and establishing my own household, I had a personal encounter with the radical love of God, which inspired my great interest in God, Christianity, and the person of Jesus Christ. In Coventry, in the quiet seclusion of my interior spiritual life, after a series of gentle signs and a deeply spiritual experience in confession, I had a powerful reversion back home to the Catholic faith. I will always remember Catholic parishes in Warwickshire with exceeding fondness and gratitude. The sights, sounds, history, and people of Coventry became woven into my own story, and no corner of Coventry feels more poignant than its cathedral, a monument to loss, resilience, and renewal that mirrored my own journey through those formative years. The approach to Coventry Cathedral begins with the weathered majesty of St. Michael's Tower, a 14th century Gothic pinnacle piercing the Warwickshire sky at 295 feet. Its pink sandstone, etched by time and war, stands as a sentinel over the ruins of the old cathedral. Ascend the tower's claustrophobic spiral stair, 180 steps of worn stone, and emerge to a breathtaking panorama of Coventry's sprawling rooftops, where the hum of the modern city entwines with echoes of its medieval past. Below, the roofless nave of old St. Michael's lies exposed, a skeletal perpendicular Gothic relic, its shattered arches exposed to the elements. On the night of the 14th of November 1940, the city of Coventry was devastated by bombs dropped by the Luftwaffe. Hit directly by several incendiary bombs, the cathedral burned with the city. The ruins are the remains of a medieval parish church, consecrated to be the cathedral of the new Diocese of Coventry just 22 years earlier in 1918. The decision to rebuild the cathedral was taken the morning after its destruction. Rebuilding would not be an act of defiance, but a sign of faith, trust, and hope for the future of the world. Shortly after the destruction, the cathedral stonemason, Jock Forbes, noticed that two of the charred medieval roof timbers had fallen in the shape of a cross. He set them up in the ruins, where they were later placed on an altar of rubble with the moving words, "Father, forgive," inscribed on the sanctuary wall. Another cross was fashioned from 3 medieval nails by local priest, the Reverend Arthur Wales. The cross of nails has become the symbol of Coventry's ministry of reconciliation. Rather than sweeping away the ruins or rebuilding a replica of the former church, it was decided to preserve the remains of the old cathedral as a moving reminder of the folly and waste of war. It was the vision of the provost at the time, Richard Howard, which led the people of Coventry away from feelings of bitterness and hatred. This led to the cathedral's ministry of peace and reconciliation, which has provided spiritual and practical support in areas of conflict throughout the world. To wander these ruins is to feel the raw edge of loss alongside the resilient pulse of hope, as if the stones themselves murmur of forgiveness and renewal. The new Coventry Cathedral, officially named the Cathedral Church of St. Michael, is located immediately adjacent to the ruins of the old cathedral. It keeps the regular floor plan of an English church, a long rectangular footprint, although this is oriented north-south instead of the usual east-west direction. The nomenclature used to describe the new cathedral follows that expected in a traditional floor plan rather than the geographical reality. The two structures are physically connected, with the new cathedral's main entrance, the west end, facing the ruins of the old cathedral. A porch links the new building to the remains of the old, symbolizing continuity between the past and the present. The new cathedral's long axis runs roughly perpendicular to the old cathedral's layout, forming an L-shaped relationship when viewed from above. The old cathedral's ruins, including the iconic spire, are preserved as an open-air memorial and sacred space directly accessible from the new cathedral. This positioning was deliberate, allowing the ruins to remain a poignant reminder of the destruction of World War II, while the new cathedral represents renewal and hope. The close proximity ensures that visitors experience both structures as part of a unified site. Step through the jagged wound of the old cathedral's north side and follow the Queen's steps towards the new cathedral. These steps follow the route that Queen Elizabeth II took in 1956 when she laid the foundation stone of the new cathedral, which was designed by Sir Basil Spence and consecrated in 1962. Outside, on the south wall of the new structure, Jacob Epstein's bronze sculpture of St. Michael and the Devil commands attention. St. Michael the Archangel looms over a writhing Lucifer, the figure's raw energy bursting against the warm Holling sandstone walls. This external masterpiece embodies the cathedral's Christian vision of victory of good over evil. Spence's design, with its bold materials and visionary art, including Piper's glass, Sutherland's tapestry, and Epstein's bronze, weaves a cohesive story of redemption that resonates in every corner. To walk this cathedral, from the broken arches of the old to the radiant hope of the new, is to trace a journey from grief to glory, where every stone, shard, and beam sings of resilience and grace. We enter via the Great West Screen, where John Hutton's experimental etched glass captures eerie, haunting figures of angels, saints, and prophets as if in ice. The effect is striking. The window highlights the old cathedral ruins from the inside and welcomes visitors into the new sanctuary from the outside. We begin our tour at the baptistry, where John Piper and Patrick Raintian's stained glass window dominates with splendour. Spanning 85 feet, its 198 panes erupt in an impressive symphony. Fiery reds, celestial blues, and golden yellows swirl in unison. Spence described the window as a staggering design, and to my mind, a masterpiece. The light spills onto the baptistry's font, a rugged boulder hewn from Bethlehem's hills, its earthy weight anchoring the window's ethereal beauty. The interplay of colours in the window offers an exciting backdrop for the sacrament of baptism. Baptism welcomes the christened into a universe ablaze with divine light. To stand here is to be caught in a sacred prism, where the eternal feels both vast and intimately close. The interior unfurls as concrete ribs soar like the skeleton of some ancient leviathan, their stark geometry softened by light and texture. The nave, vast yet welcoming, draws the eye to Graham Sutherland's colossal tapestry of Christ in glory in the Tetramorph at the east end, where a serene yet commanding Christ, robed in emerald and gold, reigns over the space. The tapestry measures 23 metres high and 12 metres wide and weighs about a ton. It is the largest tapestry in the world made in one single piece. It was woven in one piece by hand on a 500-year-old loom made from 2 tree trunks. There are over 900 colours in the design, which was woven from behind in a workshop near Aubusson in France. Artisans used Australian and French wool, which was hand-dyed using water from the local river. The design depicts Christ seated in an almond-shaped aura of light known as a mandala, often used in medieval art to show Christ as a divine being. The figure of Christ is surrounded by beasts representing the 4 evangelists. The lion, eagle, calf, and winged man representing Mark, John, Luke, and Matthew, as well as an image of Saint Michael, to whom the cathedral is dedicated. As well as housing the stunning baptistry window, the nave features 5 pairs of 25-metre-high windows which reflect man's journey through life. The idea for the angled pairs of windows came to Sir Basil Spence in a dream whilst he was being treated for an abscess in a dentist's chair. The windows were designed by 3 gifted young designers from the Royal College of Art, Keith New, Geoffrey Clark, and their tutor, Lawrence Lee. Work began on the glass in 1953. The nave is also home to Ralph Bayer's Tablets of the Word, 8 stone panels carved in situ with important phrases from Christ's teaching. The lettering used is known as the Coventry font and is unique to the cathedral. Moving left along the nave's south side, we approach the intimate, almost cloistered chapel of Christ in Gethsemane. Personally, this is my favourite space in the cathedral. I have often spent time here in quiet prayer. It is a tremendously atmospheric place to meditate on the sorrowful mysteries of the Rosary. Enclosed by a bronze grille in the shape of Christ's crown of thorns, designed by Sir Basil Spence himself, the chapel exudes a hushed solemnity, its focus the imposing Angel of Agony mosaic by Stephen Sykes, bejewelled and twinkling in the candlelight. Beside rests a carving of the Apostle's slumber, a nod to the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 26, verse 40. And he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "So, could you not watch with me for 1 hour?" The chapel's otherwise unadorned concrete walls and simple stone altar do little to distract from contemplation of betrayal and sacrifice. Candles flicker, casting soft light through the space. Here the soul is invited to linger, wrestling with the weight of human frailty in the presence of divine grace. The Chapel of Industry, or Chapel of Christ the Servant, pays homage to Coventry's workers. Its concrete walls and iron fittings evoke the city's industrial past, its car factories, cycle works, and weaving looms. The chapel's altar, flanked by wrought iron candlesticks, is like a forge repurposed for worship. Here, the sacred embraces the everyday, honouring the sweat and ingenuity of a city that rebuilt itself from ruin. The chapel's simplicity is its strength, a testament to the sanctity of human labour, ora et labora, prayer and work. Further along, the Lady Chapel is tucked behind the high altar, behind a heavy iron screen. It's as if Spence wished to protect Our Lady by placing her in the bosom of the cathedral. Its space is completed with a stone carving of Our Lady to the right of the bottom of Sutherland's giant tapestry, the bottom of which forms a useful reredos in this space. The Lady Chapel contains a modest altar, draped in simple white linen, which anchors the space and invites reflection on the Virgin's humility. Unlike the cathedral's bolder gestures, this chapel is a whisper, a place for quiet devotion where the soul can pause and breathe. Its intimacy reminds us that even in a cathedral of grand ambition, the smallest spaces can hold the deepest reverence. The child cross is made from two medieval roof beams which had fallen in the shape of a cross in the rubble after the bombing of the cathedral in 1940. Cathedral groundsman Jock Forbes' instinctive action was to set up this sign of Christ's suffering. He bound the beams together and placed them in the sanctuary of the ruins. The child cross remained there until 1978, when it was brought to this location for safekeeping. The beams were originally held in place with medieval roof nails. The Coventry Cross of Nails is formed of 3 medieval roof nails, and this is the internationally recognised symbol of Coventry Cathedral's Peace and Reconciliation Ministry. You can see the original cross of nails in the centre of the high altar cross. Completing the circuit, the Chapel of Unity radiates as a circular sanctuary of ecumenical hope. A space for all Christian denominations, the form conceived by Sir Basil Spence for the Chapel of Unity was that of a tent, a temporary home of a people always ready to move forwards. The exterior walls are clad with green Westmoreland slate, which contrasts pleasantly with the pink sandstone of the cathedral. The mosaic floor depicts fraternal themes. Above, narrow stained glass window shafts add colourful light to the chapel. At the centre, a plain wooden cross stands unadorned, its simplicity a powerful call to bridge divides. To sit here is to feel the pulse of a universal Christian faith, where differences dissolve in the glow of a shared devotion.